Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the YouTube channel where I review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby. Welcome back to the YouTube channel, everyone. My name is KJ, and today's video is my spoiler review for episode 3 of Hulu series Murdough Death in the Family, episode 3 spoiler review. So if you have not seen this show, pause this. But before you go, give me a thumbs up. That would help my YouTube channel out. Go watch the show, come back, and let me know what you think in the comments below of episode 3, the Murdough Death in the Family. So again, this is a spoiler review. Y'all been warned. Now let's get into it. This episode starts off with Paul Murdough has to be on trial, as many people and the victims and the families of this of the woman. On May 6, 2019, Paul Buster is scared for his life as he gets off with just a slap on the wrist, a $50,000 fine, and we see Alex's ego get much worse. And you know what's crazy? This is like, I thought, based off like the Amanda Knox series on Hulu / Disney, they are obviously that story was more based focus on what was being said on trial. On here, as far as Paul Murdough, or Buster, as like sometimes that's his like his nickname or whatever, but they really shorten this. But this show is getting like straight to the point because the main focus is about the family. This is this one is like round one. Like this is, they think it's the end, but this is just the beginning in the sense of it. But as of right now, like, the ego, well, Alex's ego, and then like Paul's ego, and then like other people's ego, and it gets nuts because we see like Paul, he's feeling really guilty in this. And that does not help when his father is drunk and acting like a fool, right? And again, Alex Murdough, the father, he's more of just showing who he is as a person. Like, to him, this is just a game. To him, this is just a challenge. Like, even though his son committed a bad crime, or made a bad decision, it's still the fact that he got the right lawyer to represent his son and to do the same way he would do it. And, this really shows like he's really drunk on ego, and he has a real alcohol problem. And we see how his son Paul, youngest son Paul, has an alcohol problem as well. And it just gets worse. But he takes the whole family to the Bahamas for a while. And this is where this family vacation turns out to be very problematic, as they are emotionally struggling. Like, this scene here, throughout the whole Bahamas, I should say, is we're seeing like Alex wanting to, fool around with other women. We see his wife Maggie try to, attempt, I should say, to hit on another woman, and made up a whole story of and different job position, right? And you know, it shows like they're miserable representing the family last name, Murdough. These two, in their own ways, like Maggie, I think she's just so stressed and drained out being her being the wife to Alex Murdough, right? And I think Alex Murdough is just tired and stressed out of trying to put on a persona. The way you see how he acts, I think that's what he wanted to act for the rest of his life. But he thought he can do both, and realistically, to be a family man and then do the stuff that he's trying to pull off here, or they just cannot coexist. And historically, everybody has tried that in some shape or form, but this is a point of his Alex Murdough is downfall at this point. Like, he's having fun, he's trying, and then we see like Paul, who's getting fights with other guys, and this one Australian guy just lays him out, lays the smack down on him, right? And his older brother and his fiance or wife, I should say, or maybe fiance, I forget, but they're pretty much just he's just fed up with it, and he's trying his best to please his dad but please his wife, just trying to be responsible, trying to be really good at his job as a lawyer. And we see that the dad is just the opposite, but he's just ego tripping. And throughout that, it just gets bad. And then at the point, as I tell you what, the guy who plays Alex Murdough, the actor, he is so good at portraying this guy's personality in real life and his mannerism, because there's a scene where like Alex and his wife Maggie are trying to do the boom boom, and he's like, oh woo, boy, woo, I still got it. And he never did. He never got it. He just finished himself off. But I was laughing a little bit. With that. I mean, I felt bad, but I was like laughing because, again, the actor who's portraying Alex Murdough in that scene, boy, the way he just has that southern accent, he's like, "Woo, boy, I still got it." Like, that just made me laugh. Like, it just made me laugh. But but it really shows like their marriage is almost to the end. And Paul calls the maid, and seems very close to her, and I think he looks up to her like a mother figure to him. And I was really sad because this was crazy. Like, we see throughout that episode, when the Murdough family's in the Bahamas, the maid just goes to home. She lives in a trailer park which is nothing wrong with that at all. And she has 2 sons, and she's so kind, she's so gentle. She's a God-fearing woman, and she's encouraging Paul that it's going to be all right, sweetie. And there was a scene though where Paul snapped to his family because he got overwhelmed, and he's thinking about what happened, about the Beach family and stuff. And his dad was like, he called him the well, I can't say it on here, but the kitty cat word, basically. And it just shows you like where this family's at. And honestly, it's just crazy. Like, I don't even know. But again, that was a crazy scene. Like, it was very dramatic. It was very, like, realistic, very truthful. And, this is a thing where Alex Murdough is just trying to make it just another day for him where you really can't. But that's when things turn. As later on, when they get back, the Beach family they're not okay with this, and they're going to take them to court. And it's going to get a lot worse because he's financially struggling. There's money that's just not getting there. And it was going to be interesting to see how he gets there, but it gets nuts. But before that too, like, we see the maid, who is played by Kathleen Wilhoit, and the character's name, or actually person, is Gloria Satisfield. And again, when I said earlier, like, this Kathleen, this actress is a bombshell. Like, she's a legend in the acting world, or Hollywood world. And she's been in so many other stuff in the past, but she really played this character so well, and she really got this. So I was really sad when the person Gloria, who was portrayed by her, fell backwards and hurt her head. And I was really sad because, again, Paul was sad because I think she was the anchor to Paul's humanity, dealing with what he's been dealing with and going through. And she seemed more motherly like. And to see the way that family treated her and had them go get their luggage, is a really sad thing. And that's how this episode ended. She just fell down backwards on the porch, and then blood just came out of her back of her head. And, this really shows, like, things are not going to look good. Because with this going on, and the Beach family can still want to take them to court, the truth's coming out, and their whole perfect world is slowly but surely crumbling. But boy, I'm telling you, the actress Kathleen Williot, she really knocked this out so well, and she made it so believable. She was very passionate. She was very good at portraying caring and loving, and she reminded me of every, like, church woman that I can imagine. And to see this, it was so sad. It really got to me. And I'll tell you what, the whole cast in this show is so good at portraying these people, from based on this event that actually happened. And you know what? I said it, and I say it again. Like, I love this cast. The director to this, the producer to this show, really knew who would fit. They really picked the right people for this show, and to display, like, the drama, people feeling uncomfortable, people feeling guilty, people feeling depressed, running towards alcohol. You're seeing different sides, and you're seeing, like, egotistic family that just stressing themselves out by just trying to have a good reputation of the name Murdough. And what a great episode this was. But I loved that. And then, like, Paul Murdough, the youngest son, seeing him just struggle, seeing him just feel guilty. This was what he's done was a big toll. And, again, teenagers, young adults, anybody can relate to this. Like, this makes it feel relatable. This makes it feel real. This makes it feel grounded. People can think like, yeah, you know what? Like, when I was young, or somebody's thinking about doing something like this, will make them think twice. Like, man, I shouldn't be intoxicated and, have my hands behind the wheels like that. So, really good positive message that they're trying to tell with this event. Like, number one, like, nobody's above the law. Number two, your ego's gonna, the more ego you get, the more the downfall you're gonna have. And number three, like, sometimes the most kindness people or overlooked, not appreciated. Somebody like Gloria deserves a huge raise. She's the one that deserves to go to the Bahamas. And it just shows what type of family this is. Just just not care, so reckless, and they think they're just above everybody. And I get it, hard work pays off, but you can't forget where you came from, and you can't forget the people who helped you get there. And this blackmailing people is just crazy. But that's the type of mindset that Alex Murdough has been representing, and he taught his children that. And I don't mean to disrespect nobody like that, but like father, like son, that's what this whole show's been showing too. So, this takes a really deep dive in, like, a person's character. It's the choices, it's the things that you represent, it's the way you act. And this was a really deep, meaningful episode. And you just seen, like, they're not perfect, they get sloppy, and I'm sure, like, the downfall is even worse as it is in real life. So this episode is just the tip off of, like, it's not looking good, but it's curious, can he bounce back? Can this family even continue on? And what are they going to do with Gloria? We'll know in the next episode, but it was very interesting. So if I had to give this episode a 1 out of 10, I'm definitely giving it a 7.5. Really good episode. I wish that one thing if I had to had just be nitpicky or negative about it, or something I just didn't like about it, is the fact that we're not seeing, the reporter side of this yet. Like, they show a little bit of it, but I think now more than ever, if they're gonna, because they're getting straight to the point, to the incident that is the downfall for the Murdough family. But I wish they would focus more on her point of view, show scenes like what she was doing while they were on vacation. That's my only nitpick about it. But other than that, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10. Really good episode. I loved it. And I can't wait for episode 4. So that is my spoiler review. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official channel. Subscribe. Hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you guys, and peace out.